Cars in here, all messed up, and we're ready to begin our wipe down. You can see that the prep is completely done, and we've masked it in such a way where we'll be able to put the panels on and get our stripes on it. Here we got the wing. We've got it so that the doors will swing open. We're going to begin our wipe down with a little bit of wax and grease remover, and then over there sits our water-based cleaner to get the car wiped down. Okay, now wax and grease remover is a surfactant, which means that it'll bring all the wax and grease up to the surface. So I'll spray it on the panel, and then I'll wipe it dry with a clean towel. Make sure you use a respirator. Knock down the amount of chemicals you're getting into your system. See why we do the double wipe down with the water-based cleaner. So we're all wiped down. We're going to go get our sealer in our gun, get our monkey suit on, and start spraying our sealer down. So I just gave it away. We're giving a pearl white for our Z28 stripes on Cindy's Camaro. So I've got the first stage of my white in my gun. We're going to go ahead and get after our stripes. Okay, we got a new SD card in, and we're about to start our white. I just tacked off and get my mask on. We're shooting our first stage of our 3-stage pearl, and we're shooting at about 20 to 22 psi. There's one coat. We'll go ahead and get 3 coats on all the stuff with stripes. Catch you back up at that point. And here sits our last coat of pearl. We'll go ahead and get out of here for the night, come back in the morning and get striping. It is now the next morning of day 2. We have fit the panels on the car. Chris is beginning to lay out the stripes. Let's talk about the measuring process a little bit. What do we got on the dock here?
So the manual.
The manual. What did the manual say?
5.96 inch trunk to beginning of outside stripe. 7.02 inches.
Up in here.
And the widest part up here. And we got 14 point something, I don't remember.
for the width of the stripe?
14.98.
Is that total with the extra little guy?
I think so. No, I'm at 14.75 and 60 cents.
14.75.
It's outside to outside. Entire stripe.
Camaro Z28 stripes are a little bit weird because they don't match from forward to back. That's the front.
14.48 the back.
14.48. So they're a little narrower in the back.
Yeah, that's what good. Yeah.
Waiting for you.
Yes. I think I will stab you in the back of the neck with this mechanical pencil. It's pink.
Make sure the lead ain't out. I don't want to get lead poisoning.
I'm gonna get a bunch of lead sticking out.
Are we opting to negate the...
We're gonna pretend that we're a dealer.
We're the dealer installed spoiler, not the factory installed spoiler, okay? Rest assured that is not through being either unprepared or lazy. Or perhaps it's both. Well, there it is, several hours worth of striping. Chris went ahead and did all the measurements. He's a stripe guy. He lays all the stuff out. Went through, got it all masked up. And right now we're about to take a quick lunch before we get towards doing our final base coat on the car. And here's an important thing to take care of. When you've got your overspray from where you sprayed your stripe right out here, it can tend to get a little bit of rough. So what I did is I took some 1200 grade sanding paper and a little bit of wax and grease remover and just kind of wet sanded that smooth. Okay, now what you see here is we've taken that gray that we used to cover our car and we've gone over our white for the stripe. And we've also gone through and made sure that our lines are sticking down really well. And they are. So we're going to go through, tap the panel off, including the paper. Get you prepared to see your first coat of the orange mica. Started a little bit without you guys, and you can see we're starting to unmask our stripes and getting our first look at the color combo together. Well, not our first look, but a look. Okay, one last look at it in base coat, and yeah, it doesn't quite look right because the orange isn't brightened up yet. Once we get the clear coat on it, it'll really stand out and brighten up to where we want it. So, there it is. We got our DC 5300 with 42 hardener. Probably shoot, I'll probably shoot a 50 reducer. And we're just gonna put 2 coats on it. And then from there we will let it bake, tomorrow, and then over the weekend. And then we'll sand it down and give it 3 more coats of clear. Oh, next time you see this thing, we'll be clear coating it. I'll be shooting through my RP 1.3, 5300. And probably, I don't know, maybe 26 pounds. We'll see. Okay, gang, there it is. The car's got 2 coats of clear. We're gonna go ahead and head home for the night. Sleep good. Man, my back's hurting. But then we're going to come in tomorrow, start putting the infrared on it and baking that clear out. Like I said, I got 2 coats of Diamond's DC 5300 with 42 and 50 for the reducer. And you can just see how it laid out. We put 2 coats on. We changed it up a little bit for this one. We put 2 coats on, which will allow us to sand down our stripe edge really nicely. And then we'll go ahead and put either 3 or 4 coats on it to final it out so that we can cut it flat and give it that show shine. Let's see. So, like I said, we're gonna put the IR light on it. Then we'll let it sit over the weekend. I'll come back in on Monday and we'll start sanding it down with 800 wet probably. And then we'll throw a membrane down. A membrane is just over-reduced, catalyzed clear. And it's an adhesion promoter. At that point, I noticed on the header panel up under here, we made a couple of mistakes with our tape lines, so we'll fix that. And then we're ready for our clear coat. I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode right here just to get something out on the channel so you guys can check it out, and then we'll catch you on the next one. I'd like to say thanks to Chris laying out these stripes. They look beautiful. And thanks to the whole gang at Photo Finish. Wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. And everybody over at Leading Edge A1, our BASF supply. Catch you on the next one. This is just one last look with the 3M Sun Gun as to what we're dealing with. I'll get you a couple shots in the morning when we pull it out in the sun.
I like the way this shades out in the sun. Looks really cool.
Ah, shit. It's spoiler on the day.
Pretty.
Couple good looks.